Hi there, YouTube. Today I'd like to talk about how gagging orders have basically had their day. Now, what do I mean by a gagging order? Well, in the press, certainly in the UK, there's what's called a D notice. And I think that's what it's called. It may have other names these days, but I've always known it as a D notice. And the idea of a D notice is basically it's something that the press aren't allowed to talk about. So, for example, they might be told, what they do is they get all the editors together of all the media, of all the TV program, of all the TV channels and the papers and things, and they say you're not allowed to talk about this. So they might say, I don't know, you're not allowed to talk about Prince William, or they might have, or a celebrity might get a gagging order and say you're not allowed to talk about my affairs and things. Now, the interesting thing is that a D notice can also make it's not only then illegal to talk about it, it's illegal to talk about the fact that the D notice exists. So basically what you're saying is you can't actually talk about the fact that a celebrity's got an issue, but you also can't talk about the fact that you've been told not to talk about the fact that a celebrity's got a problem. Now, can anyone see the problem in the current year with the gagging order? Now, I will put you out of your misery. Basically, in the olden days when social media didn't exist and traditional media was the only media that did exist, it was very simple to just collect all the people, in a country. So you just collect all the newspaper editors together, and you'd collect the TV companies together, and you'd say, don't talk about actor McDreamy's events. And they would go, okay, we won't. Now, because you can't tell anyone that that's the case, what happens now if somebody in social media finds out about actor McDreamy and the fact that they're doing something, and then publishes it? Now, can you blame them? Now, let's just say that, I found out that such and such an actor has got an illegitimate child, and I go on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and I say such and such an actor has got an illegitimate child. They live here. They're doing this. Now, everyone goes, oh, but there was a prohibition notice. There was a D notice. There was a gagging order. You weren't allowed to talk about that. Yeah, but how did I know? How did I know there was a gagging order? How could I know there was a gagging order? The only way you can possibly know is if everyone's been told, and if you go around and you literally say, everyone, I just want to tell you that such and such a celebrity, they've got an illegitimate child, but you can't tell anyone. Yeah, okay, well, the only way that can work then is if you tell everyone. And once you've told everyone, you've destroyed the whole concept. So how, in modern times, can gagging orders work? And the answer is they can't. We've passed the point of being able to have any form of muzzled press. These days, everything is fair game, really. You can't really lock down the press. You can't really lock down news, because news will find a way, even if you make it illegal to talk about it. If somebody finds out about it that isn't covered by the D notice, then they can talk about it. And I would be very interested, actually, maybe one day, if it got leaked via non-traditional media, via YouTube or something, they've told, well, you're not allowed to talk about it. Well, you haven't told me I'm not allowed to talk about it. As far as I'm concerned, everything's fine. I've just found out about this, and there's no problem. And you can't retrospectively tell me, you've just talked about this. Actually, you're not allowed to. You have to be upfront about these things. You can't tell somebody after the event that what they've done is illegal. You can't say, oh, but that's like going to a school playground and the kid, you're playing kiss chase or tag or whatever. Gosh, I'm showing my age. And you tag the other kid, and the kid goes, you can't touch me, I've got an invisibility shield. And it's like, well, we didn't talk about invisibility shields before, so why is that a thing now? That's just totally nonsense. And it is nonsense. And I think it's going to be very interesting soon when this sort of thing starts to get challenged as to exactly what can get done about it. And I think it's only a matter of time, really, before the the traditional media and the alternative media, aka the people's media, aka people on YouTube and Twitter and all the various other social media networks, so they start to sort of say, well, you can't stop me saying this thing, so why even try? Then everything becomes free speech, and that's actually going to be a very good day. But gagging orders, they really have had their day.